In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve expressions with grouping symbols. Again, we talked about it a couple of days ago, but when you're solving expressions, we need to remember our order of operations, GEMDOS. So you have your grouping symbols, which are parentheses and brackets. Your exponents, which are coming next year. Multiplication and division, which are equals, and we solve left and right. Addition and subtraction, also equals. We solve left to right, and we do it last unless it's within the grouping symbols. So if you can just remember these rules and this order, it will help you with this whole unit. So for this, I'm going to show you a couple of examples with grouping symbols so you can see what the problems will look like before you solve. So also, I wanted to point out sometimes you're going to see problems like this. When you see a number and another number separated by parentheses, this means multiplication. This is 3 times 2. More and more of your problems are going to take away the multiplication symbol and go to using the parentheses, or sometimes they have a dot between them, and that's because we're about to start baby algebra and the x can look like a variable and we don't want to confuse those. So keep your eyes open for problems that look like this. Sometimes they use this like star here, but I don't see this as much. This one is probably the most common, and then the dot in between. So if I'm solving something with grouping symbols, let's say I've got 12 plus 15 minus 5 in parentheses plus 9 minus 3 in parentheses and then in bracket. I can't let go of the brackets until I get down to a single number. So this is when I usually have kids say, well, which parentheses do I do first? Well, it doesn't really matter on this. I could solve them both on the same go. 15 minus 5 is 10 and 9 minus 3 is 6. This plus sign between them has to fall down, and they have to stay together in the grouping symbols until you get down to one single number. So this 12 plus up here is going to fall down. And now I have 10 plus 6 in the brackets. I'm going to solve first, which is 16, and let the 12 plus fall down. And then I'm going to add these two together, and I get 28. So your triangles are still going to be triangles for grouping symbols, but it's kind of a pain because it takes up a lot of room. With these, I wouldn't divide your papers into 6 just because they do take up so much space. I would maybe, if you're trying to organize your work, split it into fourths, because this is going to help you keep your work organized. I'm going to show you one more. So for 5 times 26 minus 4 minus 4 plus 6, and I've got the brackets around it. So I'm going to solve these two first. 26 minus 4 is 22, and 4 plus 6 is 10, so I have 22 minus 10. I'm going to keep the grouping symbols around it until I get to one single number, and the 5 times up here falls down. The biggest mistake I see kids make is they try to do too many steps at once, and they forget to bring down things and let it fall down. It's just like Candy Crush. If this is up here, it's got to come down here until I get to the end. So now I'm going to do 22 minus 10, which is 12, and the 5 times falls down. And 5 times 12 is 60, and I'm done. And when you get done, you should have a big Dorito trip. It didn't even fit in here all the way. But just make sure when you're doing it, you're doing them step by step by step, and you're not skipping things along the way because it can lead to big mistakes.